to defeat Joe Courtney come November 2nd. This leads me to introduce to you our candidate in the 2nd District, Janet Peckinpaugh.
You heard I was dancing last night in Mystic on the stage, so I'm not walking too good today, because I got up on the stage last night with Chris DePino, who was playing the harmonica, and Rob Simmons and I ended up on the stage dancing, and I have to tell you, for all of you in here who know Rob Simmons, he had a suit and tie on, and off comes the jacket, and he throws it in the audience, and off comes the tie, and he throws it, and I'm getting a little nervous. I'm like, I've never seen him like this before, but we had a good time. So I'm not walking very good today, but thank you all for letting me come. We have another event going on, so that's why you were nice enough to let me go first. We all know what we have to do this election. It has been, I just have to tell you, for me, I have come forward as a citizen, as you know. Many of you know me for my many years in my television career, which I was so blessed to have in this state, and you were so kind to invite me into your living rooms every night to dissect the news and report on what was going on directly to you. When I stepped forward in May, very late, got into this election, I did it as a give back. I've been a single mother for 19 years. I know many of you have seen my son Alex grow up, probably remember when I had him. And he's 22 years old, he's a junior in college, and I said, you know what, this isn't right. This is my give back. I want to go to Washington and fight for what's right. I want to go to Washington to change what's going on down there. It's the way of me giving back to my 22-year-old son. I'm also worried that every internship he's had since he's been in school has been either overseas or with an overseas company. So I'm not only afraid that he's going to go to New Hampshire or South Carolina or California to work after college. I'm afraid he's going to go to India or China or Germany. And I don't want that to happen, because I love this state of Connecticut. I've been here since 1984. You can't toss me out. People have tried to toss me out, to get me to go somewhere else, and I said, nope, I'm not living. I love it too much. I was raised in the Midwest, but I have felt so loved in this state since 1984, and I'm going to stay here. I want to go to Congress next January and be your voice in Washington. I'm going to take your ideas. You have common sense, great ideas. All of us in this room know better how to fix what's going on in Washington than the people in Washington. We have to get term limits. I am a big supporter of term limits. I know it's going to be hard to do, but we're going to work hard to get that. We have to change the system. It doesn't make sense that the President of the United States has term limits, but Congress doesn't. I worked in the United States Senate 35 years ago as a young staffer right out of Indiana University. I worked for a Democratic senator from Florida, a guy named Richard Stone. He was in, a lot of people don't remember Richard, he's actually became a Republican. He switched parties. I've worked for Richard, and when I worked for him, what we did there were 3 staffers in Richard, and every day we went out to lunch with members of the opposite side of the aisle. And we talked. We talked to each other to bring consensus. And I say it's like a football field. Back then, 35 years ago, you were on the 30-yard line. You were each on the 30-yard line, but you worked together outside the chamber to get the best idea because you were working for the American people. You were truly representing the American people, and you wanted what was best for America. I sat with John Boehner earlier this month, and I said to him, from where I'm sitting, it looks like these guys are on the end zones, and they don't talk to each other at all anymore. Nobody even likes each other. I said, do you guys go out to lunch together with members of the, on the other side of the aisle? Do you go out with Democrats? He says, no, we don't talk to each other. That's exactly what's happened, and that's why we've gotten in this mess. People go to Washington for a career, not to go represent you to get something done that the framers of the Constitution wanted and come right back and then live with the rules and regulations that have been passed on to them. That's what we're doing. It's like we have no choice. Whatever Washington decides to do, we have to live with that. That's got to change. It's going to change this year, and it's going to change in the next election. And we're going to keep changing it until we get it right, because we have rights as American people not to have the kind of representation we have in Washington. Joe Courtney, in my district, goes around like Santa Claus, telling people, I gave you $6 million for roads, I gave you $4 million for a sewer system, I'm wonderful, I saved the subbase, I did this, I did that. He thinks he's Santa Claus. That's your money. And Tom Foley and Mark Boughton and Ann Brickley and Neil Nichols and all of us who are here in this state needing your support, needing your vote. We need volunteers. We need places for signs. We're raising on the federal level every dollar ourselves, so anybody you know who could send along $5, $10, it would be really wonderful. Thank you so much. Have a great night.
Well said. Thank you, Janet.